Welcome to the Swade Soul Show, and I am your host, Harold H. Dub Whaley. And today we have another incredible guest on the line. I have on the line today, coming in to meet you, is Mr. Swole. Swole, Mr. Jonathan Dumas, Mr. Swole. How you doing today, Swole?
I'm doing all right, man. Shout out to Swade Soul, man. Straight up, man. The Soul Show is going live.
It's on live, man. We appreciate you coming in, man. I've known this man for a while, and this brother is one of the most incredible super producers in the business. I mean, he's been a part of some legendary elements in the game. He's just been doing some big business, and now he's into video side of things, and out in Florida fishing and everything, man. We wanted to have a great little conversation here and talk, man. Talk about what life is about, and then excuse my phone just going off in here. We want to talk about what's happening. So I want to start off with talk to me about man, how you grew up, man. I want to talk about you growing up in Wayside, Georgia. Is that right? Wayside, Georgia?
Man, Wayside, Georgia, that's correct, man. It's actually called a small town called Great White. Wayside was the country. And we grew up by Otis Redding, man. And it was a small population. Um, Man, maybe 600, but I'm guaranteeing you it was all family. And we grew up together, and we all are talented still to this day. There's a lot of talent that come out from where I came from. How
So
you
did you
say
grow up
yourself?
in a family? Was your
You say what,
family
Robert?
musical, or how did you in that side of it? Because I know you started off at a real young age, just
Well,
doing
yes,
beats.
my father. My father played the drums for James Brown, so I um I actually acclimated to learning how to play instruments and everything with my father and my mother. She was a background singer as well. She also was musically trained in piano and all of these things. So everything I was around was always music. So it made a lot of sense in my life. So first time I actually started making music, she actually got me one of these little tape recorders, 4 tracks. It's a Tascam 4 track tape recorder, and
I remember them well.
yeah, man, I started working with that, and it worked out for me, and it was the start of my process.
Wow, that's really interesting, man. So that, yeah, and tell us about, because I know you started your first beat at 7 years old. Give me the history on that situation. What started that? I mean, how good was the beat? Tell me the whole nine on that.
Man, my first beat was horrible. To tell you the honest truth, the honest whole truth, my first beat was. But I had a big brother. His name was Dumas, and he does all gospel music. He works with John P. Key, Hezekiah Walker, now and everything. And his name is Big Swole, and he always stayed on top of me. As a matter of fact, when I was in church, I started out as a church musician, and he always told me if I wasn't good enough, he would kick me off the drums. So he really did that, you know. And
Wow.
to tell you the honest truth, I thought it was a bad thing at first, but he actually helped me make sense into the music business with it.
So while growing up in school, coming through grade school, did you play in the band? Did you have any of those kind of things that were in your background?
Yes, my first instrument was the drums, and then I started to learn how to play every other instrument. I learned how to play trumpet. I actually have a trumpet flute in the background. If I could turn the camera around or
Yeah,
whatever,
dude.
But I have every instrument: bass, guitar, organ. I play pretty much every instrument that's the pocket, you know. And what happened was when I started with drums, I found a mathematical situation towards the logic of the music that could teach me everything else. So it wasn't that I knew how to read music, it was just that I know how to feel music. And so when I felt the drums and felt the trumpet in 6th grade, let me give you a funny story, Mr. Whaley. In 6th grade, I had a band director, and he allowed me to write a song called Athena's Walk in my grade band played that in middle school. So
Wow.
at sixth grade, I was already composing my music and writing it, and my band director allowed me to do it, and it was pretty fun, man.
That is fun. I got a similar story we got to talk about, but it didn't happen quite that young. But big ups on that one, man. I want to talk about your start, man, when you started the lab, man. Talk to us about when you started the lab production.
Uh, well, as far as everything I've done, I've produced a wobble. That's one of everybody's favorite dance songs, I guess. At first, when I started making it, I didn't think that it was gonna, do everything. But I discovered myself first by going on tour with 50 Cent when I was 17 years old. And I went on tour with him for about 47 show days. We had a company called Desert Heat Promotions. We were located in Arizona in the Lab Productions. And we went out on tour for a while, and that was fun. And that was as an artist, Also, to mention, I am going to be an artist again, but we'll get back into that. But it started with that, and there was a company called the Lab Productions that actually helped me facilitate my production side of it, um, and also the entertainment professional side of it, as far as showing me how to do paperwork and separate your tracks and do everything the right way. So I went on tour with 50 Cent, and we did some work. Then after that, I'll say about 22, I came back to Atlanta, and I started working with Collie Park Music, and we discovered Soldier Boy and Hurricane Chris, Mike Jones, VLC with the Wobble. We did some work with E40, Fergie, um, Outkast, everything.
Wow, that's big news. So that was so you discovered Soldier Boy, and so let's talk about so that Soldier Boy thing. You came working with Mr. Collie Park. How did that relationship come together?
Well, there are his and theirs in the business, man, and I can say that you gotta actually protect yourself because, as I said, I was a small guy from Wayside, Georgia, and sometimes when you're from the country, you don't have the representation to mold yourself. Um, it was a great experience, but in the end, it didn't benefit me as well as it benefited the company for them, so to speak. So
Totally
I've sold
understand.
17 million records.
Wow, 17 million records. That's a lot of records, man. It's a lot of records. So just let's talk about working with Warner Brothers, man, because I know you worked with Warner Brothers for a while. Tell me how that relationship was.
That was great. That was actually on the VLC project with the wobble and everything. I closed his deal, um, made sure that he had everything that he needed. It was all production. Um, I try to do the best that I can as a producer. Make sure you have the sound. But Warner Brothers, it was another journey. You know, it was a here and there.
So I did an interview earlier with Kevin Black, and he talked about Warner Brothers, and what he told me, directly out of his statement was that Warner Brothers wasn't a black music label. They didn't support black music like that. That came directly out of his mouth. And he was an exec there. I remember he was the vice president of black music at one time. So did you see any problems over there when you worked there that would, make that statement that much truer?
Oh, absolutely. I think that everybody's an opportunist. We got to help each other out. That's what we're in it for. And I think that when I was working with them, it just it didn't make sense for um, each party. It wasn't fair, practical, and moral. It was just what you should do what they wanted to do. And now they were giving budgets to everybody. Let's just say, but okay, let me give you an example. I was working with Mike Jones on a project. It's called Swag Through the Roof. It's actually me singing on it. And Swag Through the Roof, um, we were in Arizona for All Star Weekend, Phoenix, Arizona. Now,
Right.
Mike Jones had a budget, but they cut his budget while we were in the middle of the project. Now, that was Mike Jones' best record, but they cut the project in the middle of it.
So now bringing that into play, how does that? How would you like as a lesson to artists and producers that are out here doing these kind of things, something like that that happens unexpectedly with a budget getting lost? How does that just happen? Did they have another artist come in, and what was the next move someone takes or should take when something like that happens?
You can't do everything by yourself. You actually have to have a team. And to tell you the honest truth, most artists today, I can tell you this. What I deal with is that most artists don't even want to invest into themselves. And someone wise to me always tells me, and her name is Patrick Trout. She always tells me that if you can't invest into yourself, then nobody will invest into you too as well. So now you can't go out there and do everything by yourself, and you cannot not invest into yourself as well. So you have to have a team of people that's ready to move forward with you.
Now that I agree with you 100%. I want to. I know you did a stint, man. We did some television time, man. You were on a show on MTV for a while, and how was that,
Yeah,
man? Tell us
yeah.
about that. Tell us
That
about
was
that for a
fun.
minute.
That was MTV Celebrity Rap Superstar. We had Kendra, Sebastian Bach. We had Hugh Hefner came to the show. Actually, you can actually
Wow.
pull it up on live, man. That was nice, man. Before he died, rest in peace, Hugh Hefner. He's a very cool gentleman. Everybody that was on that show, it was MTV Celebrity Rap Superstar, and what we did was we picked different, random people, and they flew us out to California. We stayed at the La Montrose, man. It was very exciting, and they put us with these artists that were never artists ever in their life. It was kind of a test, I guess. I mean, and they should do it again, MTV. But they put us with these artists and told us to make them a hit record out of these artists. And
Wow. Okay.
it lasted for four weeks. It was only 4 weeks. They filmed every single day, and man, that thing was fun. But you start to learn how hard it is for a music producer to work with any artist, because as a music producer, you should be able to do best for anybody. Your job is to do best for anyone. You know.
That's real. And so when you find people, what makes it or made it during that time hard to relate to some artists? Was it they didn't connect emotionally, or they didn't connect work ethic wise? What was some of the issues you were encountering?
Well, I mean, it's more or less a part of the working process is development, and getting in with the artist. The hardest thing is about making a mold with the artist, and making sure that you can mesh with them. Because if you can't mesh with the artist, then you can never make a situation. And therefore, you just get into the studio with them and try to figure out how they feel about themselves. Because a lot of the times, what people don't know is when you get into the studio, if you don't feel yourself and you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you neither. So you have to help them mold themselves into believing into themselves as well. Because if they don't believe in themselves, nobody else will.
Wow, that's real talk. I got
Yes,
a I know you got a new song out right now. Okay, Black
yes,
Man in
sir.
Charge.
Hey,
Black
man,
Man in Charge.
BMIC,
Yes, sir.
Black
Be
Man in
my
Charge is featuring
I,
what? You say what, sir?
I want to know. I want to know the story behind it. I want to know what led it up, and then after we do that, we want to be show do a preview for everybody to hear. Black Man in Charge on here, but I want to know what led up to this. What were you thinking? What was your spirit at when you put this together?
It's hard out here for everybody, man. We got to take care of each other, you know. It's Black Lives Matter first and foremost, and I say that in a way to say that it's really hard out here for people to get on. You know, it's cities out here fighting, man. We got politicians that's taking all the money. We got, just look at what's going on. How in the world do we have this president? You know, we have problems in the state. So Black Man in Charge is dedicated to James Brown. It is a sentiment to my heritage. You know what I'm saying? And I dedicated that because my father played drums for James Brown.
Right.
When I was young. So after James Brown, he was like really my uncle. You know, I grew up with him. You know, I really did. Otis Redding, I still know Otis Redding III to this day. He's funny.
Legendary Pops, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You know some youngsters out here who ain't never heard that name before. Tell them what.
Yeah, but Black Man in Charge, it's really more about us taking care of each other. You know, and I want everybody to share a market with that. Like, it's more about nurturing each other, man. And I keep going back to we got to take care of each other.
Man, so I absolutely agree. It's the time right now that we definitely got to start looking out for every piece of each other when it comes to, you know, what we finna face right now. I mean, it's about to be some unique times right now in the next couple of weeks. People don't get it, but it's about to be something that we've never seen in our lifetime. So just with that, man, I want to know if it's okay if we could introduce the audience to BMIC, Black Man in Charge by.
I would love it, man. I would love it.
All right, so we're going to break my audience down. Swade Soul Show. This is H-Dub, and I got my man, Mr. Jonathan Swole, Dumas on the line, and we finna play his new single, BMIC, Black Man in Charge on Swade.
Thank y'all.
do no crime right. I hope the hustle right through my high right. This is the last time right. They're killing us right. This is the crime right. Make it your last time right. Put up a candlelight. Together unite. Make a light. Your last time matter right. The light. Snuffed out by the white light. You're blinded by the black light. How you blinded by the black light? We matter, right? Right? Right.
Man, that's a hit. That's a hit.
Thank you, Mr. Dub.
All day, man. I love it, man, and unique.
Now that's featuring Patricia Trapp, Patrick Trapp.
Tracy Trapp. That new swing she putting in. I mean, the message is incredible to me. That's why I listened to the whole song several times last night, man. I was like,
well, I mean, we've been indentured, man. We've been indentured, man. Us as a people, we've been indentured, and we got to speak out and make sure that we take care of each other in that sense too, as well, man. Because it is a reflection of what's been going on in our lives, man. And if no justice, no peace, or any of that situation, we just have to make sure that we can empower our own people to move forward, and lift them up as much as we can.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you on that. I want to know, cause man, I know you got stories, man. So I want to hear a story that you ain't never told nobody yet about something that done happened in the industry with somebody. You can name names or not name names. I just want to hear something interesting that you done went through with somebody that might be a lesson for somebody to know.
You want an embarrassing story or you want a good story?
Hey, it's always good for the embarrassing. So hey, let's make it juicy.
Okay, when I was talking about I went on tour with 50 Cent, man. Okay, I was on the tour bus. They were in the tour bus, and I did not know, because I was 17 when I was going on tour with 50 Cent, that altitude changed your alcohol levels. So,
hey, I didn't know.
They wanted to go to all the strip clubs in the world and give me all the drinks and alcohol in the world. So by the end of the night, I was just spewing up everywhere on the tour bus, man.
Wow.
Now the next day, 50 Cent's manager came to me and he said, man, look, I know I did the same thing, right? So he brought me into the studio and he asked me to make some music. That was with Presidential Campaign, and that was the My Buddy track. I don't know if anybody remember that. My Buddy.
My Buddy? My Buddy.
Yeah, that 50 Cent, the G Unit. So they asked me into the studio. After that, funny story, Soulja Boy, I can send you the link, but I wish I would have sent you the link, man. I gave him his first chain while we was making a funny video too, and I'm gonna send you that link too. So hopefully you'll post that on your radio station too.
Absolutely.
I don't really have any funny stories, man, because most of my life wasn't funny. As I said, that it was mostly serious business, but I have a lot of stories, but they're not really funny.
Well, I want to know what is on the horizon for Jonathan Swole Dumas. What's the next phase of everything you got going on right now? What are you doing on that?
Well, I've put myself in procurement, and I want to be the #1 major label. My label entertainment name is Backyard Entertainment, BACYARD. My company's name for production is Swole Productions. But what I have done is I said that if you are an artist and you don't invest into yourself, you should not even try to be an artist. So what I've done is I've invested in myself, and I've got sublimation machines, cameras, of course, studios, all of that. And we also work with other people. We have a cleaning company called the Cleaning Artists. And what we do is we procure contracts for normal working people to work and actually have a job to try to support their career as well.
Wow, that's
We'll,
big. That's diversifying, man. So where would that be able to help people? Because I know it's a lot of people right now, man, that's suffering through this pandemic, looking for work, looking for help, looking for places that they can maneuver at. Where can you help someone that might be watching this video, or help somebody that might help somebody that watched the video?
right, that would be the Southeast region. It would be mostly Florida, but in Georgia, South Carolina, it would be the Southeast region. We would have Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Arkansas, all the way up to the Virginia area and to Arkansas.
Got it.
And we're actually trying to help them. And also, we have starving artists that can work in. We want to help starving artists support themselves in this with the cleaning artists as well. So that would be the Southeast region.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so man, I love what you got going on, man. I mean, your music is incredible. You've done a major service to the world when it comes to entertainment and what you brought behind you. I know that you and I got some things we plan on doing in the future, man. So I look forward to that. And
Does my hair make me look fat?
no, man. Yeah, it's funny. No, you look great, man. For real. Thanks a lot for being on the Swade Soul Show, man. I'm glad to have you. And we wanted to give another shout out to Miss Tracy Patrick. Let her know that we definitely got a chance to hear what she was doing. And I appreciate everybody letting us into your home today and interview you and say hello. So thank you.
Also, may I also say, man, that thank you for your acknowledgement, man. It's been a pleasure working with you, Mr. H. Dub, man, and shout out to the Swade Show, man. Swade Soul Show. Yeah.
Appreciate you so much, man. Mr. Jonathan Swole Dumas.
Thank you. Oh, you can find